Hi everyone, this is Elizabeth from the Community Library. For this short video, I am just going to be going over quickly how to use Ancestry Library Edition. So you might have heard of this before. It is the way that you can access Ancestry either at the library or from home. Now, um, one thing to note with this is that unlike normal Ancestry, where you can make your own tree, you make an account and you can save records directly to your account, this is more like a database where you can search for records about your family and you can browse their catalog. So the URL to go, if you don't know, is right here. So it's ancestrylibrary.com. And now, if you're in the library, I'll show you how it works. You don't have to log in or anything. It'll automatically say Kenosha County Library System. That's because when you're in the library, um, Ancestry is able to tell. And so it knows we're part of the Kenosha County Library System. So it's easy to connect that way. Now, because of COVID, they've actually had remote access to Ancestry Library Edition. So normally, the way it works is you would have to be in the library to use Ancestry. But since we've been closed and have reduced hours, they have extended remote access. So you're able to use it from home. And right now it's extended until the end of March, but they have said they're going to reevaluate and keep updating that. So it could be longer. And unfortunately, I can't show you how it works if you're at home, but because I'm in the library right now. But if you're at home, when you go to ancestrylibrary.com, it will ask you to log in with your library card number and your PIN. And then you'll come to this same page here that I have up. So, Ancestry Library Edition is similar to the normal Ancestry, where it's the largest online family history resource, and there's historical records and documents, photos. You can search local narratives, newspapers, and indexes on the Ancestry Library Edition. And you might be wondering, there's a lot of good reasons to use Ancestry Library Edition. For one, I think we all know that the Ancestry subscription can be pretty expensive. And there's certain things that you can only see based on what tier you have. So if I just have the basic US access tier, I'm not able to see certain things. If you try searching for them on Ancestry Library Edition, you might be able to find them without the subscription. And along with the actual records in the catalog, there's also um, different resources up here that I'm going to walk through that are they have how-to guides, forums, and articles that can help you with your research, not just the actual documents themselves. So how Ancestry Library Edition works, like I mentioned before, it's not like the normal Ancestry where you'll create an account. Here, you just search for things or browse the catalog, and once you find something you want to save, you'll have to either you can print it or you can download it or email it to yourself to save it for later. So now I'm going to go over just how to navigate through Ancestry Library Edition. So when you first go here, you'll see this navigation bar up top. So here is where you can see all the different things that you can do on the website, such as searching, um, looking at the message boards, the learning centers, and looking at the charts and forms. So first we're going to start with the home page, which you can see we're on right now. So this is a great place to start if you don't really know what you're looking for. So it provides a really great overview. So first you see there's the begin searching. So if you know you want to search for a specific person, but you don't really care what records you're looking in, you can click begin searching. If not, they also have divided out different records. So you can search census records, vital records, military records, which helps narrow it down so you're not so overwhelmed when you're looking for things. And you'll also see there's some quick links down here, which are also like kind of broken down their collection. So you can search for trees, pictures specifically, and this can help just narrow down your search. And also, it's really helpful if you're looking for a certain census record based on the year, you can just go right to the year here and click on that, and that'll take you to that collection. Instead of trying to start from all censuses, you can just narrow it down to which one you're looking in. So that's basically the overview of the homepage. So if you want to start searching, there's a few different ways you can do that. So first, you could try clicking on this begin searching button, which will then take you to a general search page where you can kind of narrow down what you're looking for. So you can see you can just type in some information or you can filter down. So if you wanted to specifically focus on Wisconsin records, you could click on Wisconsin here. That will kind of zoom in the map for you. Or you can click on the links down here and that will take you there and it'll list all the specific Wisconsin related records. That's really great for browsing. But if you know you want to search for a specific collection, you can use these links on the right to narrow it down. Or, like I said, you can um, just type in a broad search and look for something. So let's go back home now. And the other way you can search, like I said, is this top bar navigation bar. So if you click on search, it will automatically give you some options. So, like these here, it kind of helps you narrow it down. So, if you wanted to search all categories, you can, which will take us to that page we just saw. Or you can click on the specific records. So, if I wanted to search birth, marriage, and death records, you just click on that and it'll give you um, the options to search that collection. So, just as an example, I'm going to search just a broad all categories search for one of the people in my family trees. And I'm not going to be too specific because I know that it's kind of a unique name. I do get a lot of results, but you can also always filter down once you've searched. So as you can see here, these are all of the records that came up, and it does kind of suggest that you want to add more information if you want to narrow it down, which is true. But you can also click on these links to filter it down. So um, if I wanted to filter the collection, I could filter that out. Or what I like doing a lot is filtering the location, which can really help narrow down the records that you're looking at. So you can go all the way down, and I know he lived in Wisconsin. Let me find that. And that narrowed it down quite a bit. You can see I only have 859 results now in all collections based on just that name search, which is still a lot, but it can help you get started and you can start looking through these. What I also want to highlight here is the card catalog option here. So this is like similar to a library. If you just wanted to look at the collections that are here, you don't want to search for a person, you just kind of want to browse, this is a really great place to start. And the one thing that I find really fun about genealogy is just kind of clicking around and looking through different things without specific searches and browsing the card catalog and which I'll talk about later, the new collections really um, adds to that because you might find things that you wouldn't have if you were just doing a specific search. And just like the regular search, you can filter out different collections, locations, and even dates here. So the next thing I'll quickly want to touch on is the message boards up here in the navigation bar. So um, Ancestry does have its own message boards, and even the regular edition will have the same message boards. Unfortunately, with the library edition, you can't contribute to the conversation in the message boards, but you can search for threads and search for surnames and more. Um, the message boards are really helpful, especially with surnames, because even if someone had posted something, say like 10 years ago, about one of my relatives, I could find it now and it would still be helpful to me. So, as I mentioned, it can be a little overwhelming because, like it says, there's 25 million posts. So, one of the ways that I like using the message boards so far is doing a surname search. So, there's boards based on different surnames, and I'm just going to use the same surname I used before. So that for me is gibbous. As you can see, it suggests surnames, but I found one here. Then I'll click go, and here it pops up with the board. So in the surnames board, there's a gibbous board, and here I can see all the posts that have been made on this board, which isn't a lot. And as you can see, the activity of the boards is kind of hit or miss. Some are more active than others, but it might still be worth it to kind of click around and see if you can find anything. So here, people post that they're looking for descendants, looking for obituaries, and if you are kind of stuck somewhere, you could try searching these and see if anything comes up. So that was just one example of surname searching, but you can also browse through the different categories. So they have ones for localities and they also have specific topics. So for here, you can see that there's a lot of different boards for software, folklore, adoptions, which I'll use just to show the activity. So there's also locations and then different people who might be searching. And as you can see, some of them are more active than others. So this person posted on Saturday. And then if you click on it, you can look through and see um, if you find anything. So now I'm just going to go over a couple cool things that I think are really helpful, especially with Ancestry Library Edition, one of which is the Learning Center. So this is where they have research aids that were developed by Ancestry that can be really helpful if you're kind of stuck or confused um, while you're doing your genealogy on Ancestry. So just as an example, these are all links, so you can just click on them and it'll take you to a document, which, like I said, was developed by Ancestry, so it's customized to the website. So it'll give you tips and tricks and different things that can be really fun to look through. Even if you think you're pretty good at genealogy, you have a lot of experience, it can still be helpful because you might learn things that you wouldn't have known or found a collection you wouldn't have known about. Okay, so then the next Maps actually has this really great US map. And if you click on the state, it'll bring up a really nice big map of all the counties and the borders. And then also there's links on the left here for state specific resources. So each state has its own research guide made by Ancestry, and it'll have history, different resources, and especially helpful down here are dates. So this will have specific dates based on the state or when they started collecting certain records, and is really great for just kind of context as you're researching. And these links down here, they actually go outside of Ancestry. So as you can see, it's the Family History Wiki. So this is a kind of Wikipedia for genealogy. But if you click on here, it'll have more information and different links for state-specific resources. So next, I just want to talk about the charts and forms. So the charts and forms are especially great if you are trying to stay organized, which I will be honest, I am horrible at while doing genealogy research. Um, so these were created by Ancestry, which is really great. So they match the format of a lot of records and things on Ancestry. So you can use these to keep yourself organized, keep track of how many members of a family you have, what kind of sources you have, and it's really great for keeping everything organized while you're doing research. They also have forms for the specific census records. So each year has a form, and you can use these um, to help you extract information. So normally, if you're looking at a census record, you might just kind of skim over it, but using a form, you can really extract all the information and figure out what it all means. And they do have forms for the United Kingdom and Canadian forms. And lastly, I'll just quickly show you the new collections. So Ancestry is really adding new collections all the time or updating them. As you can see here, some are updated. So this is a really great place to kind of have that serendipitous discovery. You want to kind of click around and see what's new, especially if you haven't done research in a while, you can really see what has been updated. Like while doing research for this video, I found this employment records collection, which actually has really cool files based on occupation. So if you know your um, one of your people in your tree was had one of these occupations, you can kind of search and see what you can find. So that is a general overview of how to use Ancestry Library. It's very similar to the regular Ancestry, so if you've used that before, you kind of will know and be familiar with how the searching works. I did also just quickly want to bring attention to kind of similar things. They aren't specifically related, but if you're having problems with your using Ancestry, these will be really helpful. But also, I wanted to bring up there is a thing called Ancestry Academy. So it's just ancestryacademy.com, and it is all videos related to genealogy research or ancestry specific research. And they have different topics you can search on, and each of these is like a playlist. So this is one, become an ancestry search expert. You can click on that, and it'll give you a whole series of videos on how to search on Ancestry. Just kind of a fun thing if you're looking to kind of get more into Ancestry. These can be really helpful beyond just like a guide. Also, important to kind of take a peek at is the Ancestry YouTube channel. It has some of those educational videos, but it also has um, fun videos like finding your roots clips. There's also how to use Ancestry. So there's just a lot of content on here that you wouldn't really think of looking at. But if you're kind of stuck, it's a good place to start. And that is all I had for Ancestry Library Edition. I hope you check it out. It's really fun to just kind of click around and see what you can find. If you have any issues with it or have any questions, you can always feel free to email me. Like I said, my name's Elizabeth, and this is my email here, or you can always get in touch with us at the library and we'll try to help out. Thank you for watching.